Today is election day. Today is November 3rd. And basically, everything that has happened in our country is super, super crazy. I'm going to break that down a little bit, not a huge summary of every little past event that's happened this last year. But it's been a crazy, crazy year. Like, everyone could totally agree with that. Anyways, though, I have not been on YouTube for about 9 months, almost 10 months counting right now. The reason I left is because everybody needs a break. You cannot be online 24/7 all the time and stay sane, okay? You need a break at some point. I was on YouTube, I was on Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff, added all up, all the main sites for about 2 years. And it was mentally exhausting. There wasn't like a specific reason why I totally left besides just having that mental break, and I feel like I'm very refreshed and I'm back. Anyways, so enough about me. This video is totally not about me in the last 9 months or anything like that. We're in a pandemic. I'm over in America. I'm over in Portland to be exact. But like, we're really not, there's not that much going on. Like, I could be like, hey guys, I had to wear a mask at a grocery store and tell you about, like, you know, little tiny little events in my life. That's not what this video is about. Let's move forward. So, there's a lot of craziness that is about to spiral, okay? So, today is November 3rd. If you haven't looked at the calendar and you're living under a rock and don't know that it's election day, that means that a lot of people, they're all, you know, very riled up. They're crazy. Like Antifa, they're planning a bunch of destruction tonight. And depending on when you watch this video, but if you watch it before tonight, you'll understand that. So, I'm gonna talk about kind of like America, but at the same time, I would say my main concern right now is the Pacific Northwest. So if you can relate, if you're from the Pacific Northwest or Northwest, I cannot talk for a second, that is awesome. And that's gonna really be a good thing in this video because I'm gonna go over a lot of events that's happened specifically in Portland and Oregon and also in Seattle. And first, to start out, we're going to talk about Seattle because I think Seattle is probably way more important than like Portland or anything like that. There's a lot more people that live in Seattle. So let's go to Seattle first. So basically, I want to talk about the autonomous zone being taken over by Antifa. The autonomous zone that was taken over by Antifa, it was taken over by a leader that was literally, they said that the leader was from a SoundCloud rapper or whatever it is. Anyway, so downtown in a certain area, they made a Chaz zone. They made a zone where they had a bunch of Antifa members that were there. There was far left extremist and progressive, and they had like free food. They had like weird stuff that they were giving out, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that's bad to be giving out free food or anything like that. It's not a bad thing. Now, the only thing that got bad is when Antifa and far left extremists started going up to businesses and they said that they had to pay a certain fee to stay open. So they started getting money from certain businesses and started doing that. I don't know if it was every single business, but mainly in the area where Chaz was being conducted, where this whole project was being conducted, businesses had to suffer. So they were being threatened to stay open, therefore they had to pay, I don't know what the fee was, but I know it was like, I think it was more than like half $100. So they had to at least front $50 to be able to stay open. And we live in a free country, well, we're supposed to be living in a free country, where it's like, you should have your, like, if I made a business right now, if I made a cookie business, right, and I had it in, I don't know, downtown Seattle, one in Portland, let's say I have a cookie business, Capone's Cookies, that sounds great. That sounds like great business. We should honestly make that. But Capone's Cookies, I just made Capone's Cookies, okay? So I have a successful business in Portland. But I have also one in Seattle. And therefore I have to shut down because people are going crazy, like, that's insane. And especially if I owned a business and someone wanted to charge me a fee to stay open, that's illegal. I don't know what that's called, but I'm pretty sure that's like probably very close to extortion. I think it's extortion. I'm not 100% sure. About like 90% to be honest. I think that if you're trying to make businesses give you money or threatening them, that would be equal to extortion, whether that's in person, online. Like, it'd be totally equal if you're in a business environment and you're dealing with all that. I'm not sure how that works, but I'm pretty sure that's like the fine line, right? But yeah, there's been a lot of craziness to happen. I would say specifically with like Antifa conducting all of this little protest and what's going on Halloween. They're actually macing innocent people that were trying to trick or treat with their kids. Okay. 2 days before, when you heard about the little Vancouver, Washington stuff that wasn't even in Portland, they were attacking random people. They really were. A lot of the random attacks was downtown Vancouver, not specifically anywhere else, even though they started the whole entire little protest at downtown Vancouver, or not downtown, Hazeldale in Vancouver. They're at like a little tiny bar, then they moved from there. And then afterwards, they started attacking people downtown Vancouver, which is like crazy. They started doing that though. Anyways, what I was trying to say is the fact that Antifa and the Pacific Northwest, they have a lot of control, okay? So one of my main videos that I made in the past, I was trying to defend Andy No. If you don't know Andy No, he is the best journalist in this area in the Pacific Northwest. He has the best details. He always has evidence and data whenever he's talking. So he's not that kind of person that he'll just say something like from his opinion. You'll actually see it in person. You'll see the proof of it. So therefore, you don't have to come to some sort of conclusion based off someone's political party. This guy, he's kind of more in the middle, honestly. He's like, I wouldn't call Andy No a milquetoast fun sitter, but he can totally understand what's coming from the middle too, and I think that he's very conservative, but he also has a lot of liberal viewpoints at the same time. Andy No is amazing. Anyways, so I've been gone for a while, okay, and I don't want to talk about Antifa for a long time, but there's something else that I wanted to share. So basically, I bought Antifa's little book. I was at the store, I was at a bookstore, and they were almost out of all these books. There's one more copy, so basically I snagged the last copy that I could, and I've read it a little bit. I'm on, what chapter am I on? Like chapter 5? Not that much. I was gonna say the first thing, I can't say exactly what it says, but the first thing that Antifa talks about is basically not, what does it say? Oh, not to communicate? Something about words. Let me fucking see it. Hopefully I don't get in trouble from this. Okay. Fascism is not to be debated, it's to be destroyed. So I think that, okay, fascism obviously is bad, right? But Antifa, anybody with eyes can see that Antifa does not operate on just a belief that fascism is bad. They go to the extent where they go like 5 times, 10 times, 20 times harder than they even state what they're going to do. So if they're going to say that fascism is bad and all that kind of jazz, then obviously they're going to use what they've read in books, what they've read online, to start implementing the real world around us and start making some sort of significant change, which they have not really done yet. I'm waiting for that. Why did I buy it? Why did I buy this book? If anyone wants to know, why did I buy this? Okay, because I want to know where their mindset is coming from. I'm not interested. I'm not going to join Antifa tomorrow or anything like that. I just wanted to see, what do you stand for? It's very hard to get into someone's shoes when you think that they're crazy, you understand what they stand for, anything like that, right? I want to know. So I bought the last book in my bookstore. And that was very exciting, but at the same time, I'm not done with that book. I'm only like 3 or 4 chapters in. But enough about Antifa, okay? I can talk about them all day. I think that any American that actually has a full deck of cards, they're playing with a full deck of cards, you would understand that they are insane. They're radical. They're only used as pawns from the left. You've got a game of chess. You got the king and the queen. They're like big tech and I don't know, like politicians, right? Then you have the pawns. The pawns are Antifa. So who cares, okay? It is what it is, right? Anyways, though, I want to move forward and I wanted to talk about. I think honestly, America is falling apart, but at the same time, it is becoming much greater than it ever has in the past. That's what the whole slogan for Make America Great. Whoa, my voice. Make America Great Again. What does that mean? Obviously, it means that our country is getting better. It's getting better by the policies that we have from Donald Trump, from what Donald Trump is doing, from what the MAGA movement is doing, and CAG as well. We're actually making our country better than it ever has been in the history of mankind. I mean, honestly, our country is going to be so, so good if Donald Trump gets reelected. If he gets reelected and, you know, today, the next few days when we have the final results, it's going to be amazing. And you thought that Donald Trump went hard his first 4 years. If he knows that he actually has sealed the deal, he's going to do that 10 times harder than he has in the past. And I'm excited for that. I think that Sleepy Joe is actually going to get it. If Sleepy Joe gets it, it's because he cheated. Because he cheated and they did something really wrong with like mail-in votes or whatever, right? Do you really want Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to be in charge of this country? My God. You'd rather have Hillary Clinton in charge of the country than them, to be honest. Everything would just fall apart. So you have two different things that can happen at this point. Either America's going to fall, it's going to tumble and crash, or it's going to do better and better and better. And we're going to, like, honestly, we're going to go from 0 to 1,000 really, really quick. I think that Trump is going to win in a landslide. But anyways, though, there's a lot of tactics that have been done in the last 4 years. It's not okay. The way that the mainstream media has acted, the way that big tech has acted. Why do you think that celebrities and our news love big tech? They love Twitter, they love Facebook, they love Instagram, because they hide everything. They protect them. These are billion-dollar companies that protect them. Like Google honestly is like, they're worth more than any company that has existed in the history of mankind. And they hide all of Hunter Biden's little like shenanigans that he's done. Everything that Hunter Biden has done. Everything that Joe Biden has been included with. Epstein case. Hillary Clinton. I could go on, I could go on. And if I do, probably not good because I'm going to say too much. Can't say too much on the internet or you get censored. And I'm already censored enough. And I have not been making videos for 9 months. And to be honest, I'm still getting censored. I still have, on Twitter, they delete certain tweets that I have. They delete certain views to make it look like I don't have as much support. I don't really keep up with every little view, but like you can tell sometimes, let's be honest. You could just tell. And also, with YouTube, with other different platforms, I have been censored. If I could be censored, I'm not even one of the big people. I have like not even 2,000 followers on YouTube right now because I'm trying to do BitChute, I'm trying to do Minds, I'm trying to do Alltech. And that's my main focus on platforms that are competing against these different platforms and they're growing. Therefore, like, obviously I'm not going to have, you know, the full support because I'm doing something a little bit wonky, a little bit different. I'm still censored though. That's, you know, that should show you how crazy everything in this country. People, they are starting not to care though. I've realized. And not care in like a bad way. They don't care. They don't care what other people think. People are starting to say, hey, this is America. This is how I feel. This is my political opinion. I don't care if my friends hate me. I don't care if I look like the bad guy for supporting my country. Because anybody, if you're a patriot, if you love America, at this point, you're just painted as the bad guy, which is wrong. It's wrong. But you are. So, people, they're painted as the bad guy for loving their own country. And, you know, I think so many people, they're just done with that. They're done. Who cares? Like, honestly. Like, we all have to vote. I mean, we don't have to vote. It's your choice. But if everyone voted the same, we would literally be gray globs. We'd all be gray. The whole world would be gray. No one would stand out. Doesn't make any sense at all. So, yeah, people, they're done with that. And for example, look at our world. Look at who's standing up to this. The bigger celebrities in our society, too. You have Kim Kardashian. She met with Trump. Kanye West. He met with Trump. You have Ice Cube. You have Lil Pump. Literally at 1 in the morning, he was at a Trump rally and he was handing out MAGA hats, throwing them like frisbees into the air. People are catching them. They're so happy. They got music blasting. It was great. Phenomenal, honestly. And you had support from, I'm not entirely sure, I might butcher his name, but I'm pretty sure it's NBA Young Boy or something like that. Another rapper, right? He's much younger. Very, very popular. Very intelligent man. And he was in support, I wouldn't really say of Trump, honestly, but he was against Act Blue. He was against Joe Biden because he found out Act Blue, in case you didn't know, Act Blue, they take donations from Black Lives Matter. They say that they're for Black Lives Matter, when really Act Blue goes back to Joe Biden. So a lot of people that were donating for Black Lives Matter, it was going to Joe Biden, which is wrong. It's not going to anything that would even help the Black community. It's not going to different neighborhoods that could use that. It's not going to Black businesses. It's not going to education. Nothing. It's going to Joe Biden. Wake up, America. Seriously. Wake up. I mean, you only have so much time today to do that. Hopefully, you've realized what's really going on in this country before you see this video. If not, you still have some time. You have some time today. And you can decide on what you want to do. It's last minute, but you still have that choice. Until midnight, you still have that choice today. So, if you feel a certain way, maybe not after watching this, but after you put everything together, you know, go vote. Do it. Because every vote matters. Everyone, like, your vote really, really does matter. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to say all this cheesy stuff and whatnot, but, you know, it really, really does matter. Now, back to, like, you know, different celebrities and support. Look at what happened to, what is his name? Mario? He's on Entertainment Tonight. Why am I, like, not remembering his name? I don't have no idea. Okay. But, oh my god, what is his name? I have to look this up right now. I'm sorry. You guys are like, what is going on right now? Oh my god, Mario Lopez. I'm so stupid. Yeah, Mario Lopez, he was also against everything as well when he was on that little interview of Candace Owens, and that was another thing that happened. Like, you have so much craziness because people, they're done. They're done being told to act like little puppets in this country to say the same thing that every other celebrity is saying. And Hollywood is dying. Hollywood is honestly, they're going to crumble because nobody cares anymore. And the only reason why I'm even saying, like, America is falling apart is because no one can communicate properly anymore. You're not allowed to even really talk when you're inside of, like, a college, for example. I mean, we've had Zoom college for quite a while now with the whole coronavirus and pandemic and having Zoom calls, but more and more with people transitioning to actually being inside a real classroom, you've noticed that you don't really have your freedom of speech there. Like, I think it could be very restricted. I mean, depending where you're at, but let's say that you're in Berkeley or you're in Portland or something like that. Obviously, you're not going to be able to communicate with like everyone in the classroom and actually state your real opinion unless you agree with like the majority. But sometimes not everyone has the same opinion, so other people, they stay silent and then they try to avoid that. And I think that that's one thing that's happening right now, where people, they're just really scared to speak out, especially in college. And okay, another thing too, like obviously not at like your work or anything, like you shouldn't be talking about politics there, but I think that, okay, when you're talking about politics with like your family nowadays too, or your friends outside of, you know, everything, basically you start having a bunch of, I don't know, what I've noticed at least is like more arguments, because everyone is so extreme nowadays when it comes to their political opinion, and they just want to be, you know, right all the time, or the other person wants to be right. But I just feel like if people could actually, I don't know, communicate better, and we have social media against us, the mainstream media against us, you know, crooked politicians all at once, and like the weirdest year we've ever had. I mean, we've literally had so much crazy stuff happen. We started the year with like bushfires over in Australia. Then we had the coronavirus, and that's all over the whole entire globe. Then after, there's like a story where you had like 40,000 Africanized bees that attacked a whole entire block. That's weird. You had other natural disasters that happened besides like the fires and everything like that. And just like craziness, craziness, craziness. Like 2020 is so absolutely insane that it's not even funny. Sadly, though, kind of my prediction for what's going to happen tonight is that people are going to get violent, if not in the next few days. And if I'm wrong, that's a good thing. But I don't really think that there's not going to be, you know, people in different groups freaking out because of election night, no matter who wins at this point. Myself, I went to the store and I stocked up on a little bit. I wasn't panic buying or anything like that, but I got some extra supplies. Like I got some more soup, I got some more rice, like, you know, bread, like fruit, frozen stuff, like, you know, that kind of stuff, so that I could have more supplies around here, like cleaning products, dish soap. I mean, I'm not saying to go to the store and go buy like a bunch of stuff, but maybe if you have the time and you have the money or the means, might as well, you know, kind of top off a little few things that you think you could need, or things that like you're almost out of, because I think that people, they might start, I don't know, freaking out, or it is the second wave also with the virus as well, so you never know. Remember going to the store earlier this year, like about 7, 8 months ago, when there was no toilet paper, there was no flour, there's no like, you know, hand soap or sanitizer, like, you know, all that stuff that ran out. That was crazy. I remember the first day that all that kind of stuff happened, I went to the store and actually started getting things that were running out, but I got them anyway somehow. But then I went to like a bigger store. I was actually doing grocery shopping later that evening, because I started my shopping at like 4, but then I had to go back to like my work or whatever. So then after that, I didn't get off till like later, so I went to like the store and it was like 8 o'clock or 7 or something like that. I don't even know. Finally, when I'm like done with everything, when I got home, when I got like dressed and whatnot, but I go to the store and there's no chicken. I'm like, oh my god, like all the meat was running out, like different veggies were running out, like oh my god, like I think the potatoes were gone. Yeah, the potatoes were like almost gone. I think I got like red potatoes because they ran out of the regular, and all the cheap stuff was ran out. No more water, absolutely no water. A lot of the medicine was gone. I was like, oh my god, like I've never seen it like that. So that was very, very scary. We're living in crazy times right now. We really are. And if Joe Biden's elected, I do not, like, I have no faith in our country at that point. Oh my god. And then last night, next to Portland State University, basically there's a cafe that's connected to a lot of different apartment complexes. Well, I wouldn't say it's like a lot, but it's like a small little apartment complex, and it's connected to the cafe, which is connected to Portland State University, okay? If you're following along. Now, Antifa, they decided that they were going to go burn down the cafe, having no consideration at all that it's connected to people that are, could be sleeping, they're inside of their homes, they have no idea what's going on. And apparently the cops, they were able to stop them before, and they're all arrested now. So, like, it's crazy. What were they doing there? Why? They found that they had gas masks, they had crowbars, they had, I think, rope or something like that. But they definitely had a bunch of different supplies, and they were intending to do some crazy, crazy stuff. I would say, maybe look out for the news. Another source is on Twitter. They have Defend PDX. That's the official Antifa's Twitter, where they post what they're gonna do. Also, Reddit is really good. You could go to Reddit, go to Portland, go to, depending what city you're in. If you're in a very blue area, I would definitely be keeping up with the news. Not like every second today or anything like that. But yeah, you kind of want to keep up to date, because you don't want to be stuck in a scary situation where the mob comes after you with pitchforks waving around and, torches waving around, not literally, but angry people that want destruction. They want everything to burn down. You don't want to be stuck in between these kind of people. They are monsters. They don't think. They don't plan. They don't care. They just want violence and destruction. They want everything to fall apart. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight just a few things and, talk about how our country is falling apart, but storms, they don't last forever. What happens after it starts raining and raining and raining? Well, usually there is a rainbow, and everything clears up. You got blue skies, it's all good. I'm not saying that if Donald Trump wins, everything's just gonna be perfect and we live in a perfect utopia, or Biden wins, that the left and all the extremists are just going to stop with their violence and stop doing everything crazy. No, I don't think it's going to work like that. Life will move on, though. Stay calm. If you don't get your way, no matter what side you're on, if you don't get your way, don't try to destruct everything and ruin other people's lives. It's not worth it, It really is not worth it. We have different opinions in this country. That's okay. That's okay to have a different opinion, not to be the same as everyone else. But yeah, I'm gonna be back on, YouTube, on BitChute, on Twitter, on all the other social media sites, mines, and I'm gonna have a new video coming very shortly. If you want to support my channel, you could go down below to my bio, and I have my PayPal at Living Capone. And yeah, have a good election night. Have a good week. Stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.